Hello guys, welcome to Anshu Cricket Podcast. Today we will preview match number 9, that is Mumbai Indians versus Rajasthan Royals, which will be played at the DY Patil Stadium at 3:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. The captain for Mumbai Indians is Rohit Sharma and the captain for Rajasthan Royals is Sanju Samson. So let's get into the preview. So firstly, let's take a look at the Rajasthan Royals squad. So this is the squad for the Rajasthan Royals. The playing 11 that played the previous game was Sanju Samson, Josh Butler, Yashasvi Jaiswal, R. Ashwin, Trent Bolt, Shimran Hetmeyer, Devdutt Padikkal, Prasidh Krishna, Yuzvendra Chahal, Riyan Parag, Nathan Coulter-Nile. So the bowling attack of Rajasthan Royals looks pretty decent on paper. The only problem is, would they include James Neesham at number 7 instead of Nathan Coulter-Nile? That is the only question that Rajasthan Royals would be asking to themselves. And in the previous game, Josh Butler got a reprieve of a no ball from Bhuvneshwar Kumar. If that would have not been a no ball, it could have been really disastrous for Rajasthan Royals. So I would say in the previous game they were pretty lucky with the no balls, as the ill discipline of SRH bowlers really helped them to get a big score and really put pressure on the Hyderabad squad. The only change that I think that they would like to make is probably bringing in Jimmy Neesham in place of Nathan Coulter-Nile, but that could weaken their bowling attack significantly because they don't have a good death bowling attack. Even Prasidh Krishna and Trent Bolt could go for runs at the death, and we have seen previously in this tournament any mistakes that has been made by the fielding side in the last 2 overs has really proven to be quite crucial. In the previous game as well, against KKR and Punjab, the previous game that was played yesterday, the Punjab captain gave the ball to Orien Smith and he just released the pressure. So some tactical blunders can happen if you are not calculative in the bowling changes that you make. So you really have to be calculative with your bowling changes. But the good thing for Rajasthan Royals is they have two spinners, experienced spinners, that is Ashwin and Chahal, to control the middle overs. So I don't think they would have enough trouble. That they would have any trouble getting through the overs. So probably they should not have any problem with the bowling. The only problem that I see with them is if they lose 2 or 3 quick wickets, like if they're 10 for 2 or 15 for 2, would they be able to play with the same flow that they played in their previous game? That's the only question that I would like to see from the Rajasthan Royals. If they manage to escape from that hole, then I think they have a squad that can go all the way. Otherwise they would really have to include an extra batsman, but that would then weaken their bowling attack significantly, with the fifth bowler being Riyan Parag. I don't think they would really afford that, because in IPLs we have seen in the past the teams which have good bowling attack have always won the tournaments, irrespective of their batting attack, whether they are good or bad. Even with half decent batting attack, they have won the IPL. CSK is a different case. They are the team which goes with all rounders. And today's match is going to be played at the DY Patil Stadium, but since it's a day game, there would be no confusion for the captain at the toss whether he wants to bat first or bowl first. So I think it's going to be a pretty interesting game, since dew won't play a part, so there won't be any significant advantage for the team chasing. The only advantage would be that they won't have to field in the heat. Probably that's the only advantage. I don't think there is any other advantage. And if the pitch turns out to be a belter, then I think the team batting first can go bonkers and score over 200 here. But traditionally in the DY Patil Stadium, the par score, as they say, has been always been 150, 160. It has never been a high scoring round. So let's see what happens. We did see a high scoring game between RCB and Punjab Kings, where RCB scored 205 runs, but that was the quality of their batting that took them there. And in the second innings, you could really see the effect of dew in that game, due to which the RCB bowlers were not able to execute their lines and lengths. But in this game, that won't be an issue. So let's see how the bowlers cope up. And also, I think Rajasthan Royals would be really happy with the way their bowlers performed in the previous game. They would be looking up to their bowlers to really perform in this game and give them a crucial boost in this game, and probably get them 2 out of 2 and probably have a better run rate and probably get a head start, I would say. Since Kolkata won yesterday, I think if Rajasthan win today, they go top of the points table. So that's a bigger incentive for them as well. So I think the only change that Rajasthan Royals would be looking to make is probably bringing in Jimmy Neesham in place of Nathan Coulter. That's the only change that they should be looking to make. They have to really back their top 6 batters, and if Sanju Samson or Josh Butler have a good day with the bat, then I think Rajasthan can chase any total down. So that was the preview for the Rajasthan Royals team. So now let's look at the Mumbai Indians squad. Now, if you look at the Mumbai Indians score, they have a pretty decent batting lineup. I won't say extraordinary batting lineup, but they have a decent batting lineup. If Pollard clicks along with Tim David, I think their batting pretty much looks after itself. The only problem in the previous game they had was the absence of Surya Kumar Yadav, which won't be the case today, since he has he's been out of his quarantine and he's ready and fit to play. So he will definitely replace Anmolpreet Singh today. But the main problem for me in this Mumbai Indians team is their bowling attack. Without Jofra Archer, the bowling attack is solely dependent on Jasprit Bumrah. Timal Mills did pretty well in in the previous game along with Basil Thampi. Basil Thampi took 3 wickets in the previous game. He was really good in that game, but the spin bowling of Mumbai Indians also looks pretty weak. They don't have someone who can just slow the scoring rate down and really stifle the scoring rate. So this, I think probably in place of Daniel Sams, maybe they can include Fabian Allen to provide that left arm spin option. Probably that's the only option which I could see in the squad. Probably they might have some Indian youngster though. We don't know about it. Maybe they can include an Indian youngster as well. But probably in place of Sams, probably they can go for Fabian Allen, because they need to have spinners to change the flow of the game. Because if they have only pace for 16 overs, that could really prove to be fatal for them, because Bumrah would bowl 4 overs followed by Timal Mills and Basil Thampi. So you have 12 overs of quality fast bowling here. Even though Basil Thampi has a knack of going for runs, the way he bowled in the previous game gives me confidence that he would really bowl well and he would really extract pace, because we have seen Prasidh Krishna getting a lot of assistance from the pitch. So I think Basil Thampi looks of similar build, and I think he can hit the good lengths and really hurry up the batsman with his pace. And I think they should really try to bowl short balls as Sanju Samson as soon as he comes to the crease, because we have seen in the past Sanju Samson is not very confident in facing the bouncers, and he has gotten out trying to pull a lot of time because he is a compulsive hooker due to the stance that he has. So I think probably as soon as they see Sanju Samson walk onto the crease, they can go for an over of Bumrah or probably an over of Basil Thampi, just to give him a short ball treatment there. And even Murugan Ashwin is not a bad option, because he spins the ball quicker. He has a lot of pace in his leg spin, so I think that also might help them. But getting the wicket of Butler would be really crucial for Mumbai Indians. So I think they have to use Bumrah early on here along with Basil Thampi. For the first 4 overs they have to go for full pace. They should be relentless in this game, because Mumbai Indians are a score that once if they click, then there is no looking back. So I think due to that aspect of the Mumbai Indians, I think Mumbai Indians, due to their experience in pressure situations and being in this position 1-0 down in almost every season since 2013, I think they know how to come back from this situation because their batting has clicked. And remember, they would have Surya Kumar Yadav. So I think Mumbai Indians have a great score, but it's a really tough game because Rajasthan Royals bowling attack is fabulous and all the bowlers are in form. The only problem for them would be the death bowling. If Mumbai Indians are able to negotiate the early onslaught from the Rajasthan Royals, then I think Mumbai Indians should be able to win this game. But it's a really tight game for me. I think Mumbai Indians should win this game, but the margin of victory would be really, really small in my opinion, unless Rajasthan Royals batting collapses. If the Rajasthan Royals batting order clicks, then it's gonna be Rajasthan Royals. But my gut feel says that Mumbai Indians would make a champion comeback today. So my final prediction is Mumbai Indians to bat first and post a huge total of around 200 210 and probably win the game, but by a small margin. But my gut feel is that they would win this